Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Coming up, it's divisional round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Under.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Out of the gun, Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. And there the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, Really well done.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Fresh set of downs here. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now it's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And oh, it coughed it up. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push them back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. A nice gain of 21 yards. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now Smith. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelsey, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
It used to be that if you were a big wide receiver and the coaches wanted to make you a tight end, you resisted the move. Now it's almost a glamour position because they have the mismatch advantage. Are you going to cover them with a linebacker? They're probably faster. A defensive back? They're going to be bigger. Tight end is the new big-time position.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. Fighting through. Oh, the hurdle. Oh. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A good pickup there at 22.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Bell, and he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down. Let's see what the offense comes with here, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And frankly, Brendan, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And he comes back with one complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Smith throwing again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down. And they're going to speed things up here. Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. And able to find Conley.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Smith now to throw. Caught here by Conley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it a second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This one fielded at the 5. Oh, little 360.
Oh,
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now it's Roethlisberger toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Yeah, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
So it's on to half. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, and defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop him, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Finding time. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic. And Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, But here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game. And if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And it'll bring up third down. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And this seemingly endless drive continues.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
And he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And Bullock will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brendan, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. The Steelers defense, we watch them get set to go. Last drive, touchdown, surrendered. Here, see if they can stop them.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad, but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And probably look to the leaders, as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, let's do this thing.
To throw is Smith, and Hill with it over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the... We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And some room to roam now. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Offense needs 11. Have to think pass here on third down. Throwing on third down, Smith. And able to find Conley. They get 14 yards there and a first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Play clock winding down. Here's Smith to the right side, and he's got Macklin. Complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Again, Smith. Looking left side. That's caught by Macklin. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Smith, the tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And all the way in. For a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelsey, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Spinning past him. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Caught on the right side by Adams. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Davante Adams, 59 yards. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now here comes Kansas City. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Second down following the run. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Throwing is Smith. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.